Welcome to the Shandon Hotel and Spa Donegal Harvest Rally. Of course, all eyes will be on Declan Boyle. He'll be hoping to make it 4 in a row, but the weather conditions could play a huge part today, so it's anybody's game.
As the 6th and final round of the Sligo Palace Border Rally Championship, there was an impressive turnout for the Shandon Hotel and Spa Harvest Stages Rally, as over 130 crews prepared to tackle some very challenging stages in some very challenging conditions. Top seed for the event was local driver Declan Boyle, who was hoping to make up for a disappointing season by taking his 4th win in a row at the Harvest Stages.
It'd be nice to finish on a high if we can, or even get a finish. Pather's here as well. He's going to be on a big push too. It's never easy beating him, so looking forward to getting out.
Peter, a bit of a rotten day, but there'll be a bit of a battle on for you today, isn't there?
Yeah, well, we're sandwiched in between two Donegal men, so I think it's going to be hard enough going, to tell you the truth. Declan obviously go really well here, and so will Joe. So try and get settled in and get around, see how we go.
Joe, another Donegal man, but conditions not great for today.
Yeah, it's looking like we're going to have to go for wets this morning, but sure, good practice with that in Cork, so should be match fit for today.
While the battle for overall honours would likely be decided by the 4-wheel drive machines, there was a fair chance that one of the top 2-wheel drive contenders could upset the apple cart, especially with the weather levelling the playing field somewhat. Newly crowned tarmac modified champion Kevin Eves was one of the hot favourites.
The same as the rest of them, we're not here to be second, so we'll give it a go, but it's going to be slippy and tricky, so we'll see how it goes.
And there's definitely no shortage of Mark IIs here at the Harvest Rally. Brian, pleased with the turnout today?
Very good. Good to have a full field starting out there, and good stages here, so we're looking forward to a challenging day with the wet conditions, and it'll be a good test for everybody.
So as the crews leave Dunfanaghy, let's take a look at the rally route laid on by clerk of the course Tony Boyle and his team at the Donegal Motor Club. Three loops of 3 stages awaited the crews, with stage 1 based around the village of Falcara. Stage 2 was the longest test and traversed the hilly terrain at the foot of Muckish Mountain, while Stage 3 was a short dash back towards Dunfanaghy.
Here at Stage 1, the weather has really deteriorated and there's a lot of standing water, as you can see, which will prove really challenging for each and every driver.
The conditions were certainly proving a challenge for everyone, and it didn't take long for the drama to begin as we go on board with car number 1 on stage number 1.
Cut the speed, stay mid for 3 left. And then a 3 right flowing out of it. 3 right flowing, 1 right for crest, stay mid. And then 1 left over bump, stay mid. Only 46 left, double tight and stone cut. Oh. You're away. I have it.
There will be no 4 in a row for Declan and Brian Boyle, who slid their Fiesta off the road in the treacherous conditions. The local cousins were stuck in the ditch for over 18 minutes before finally getting back on the road again and decided to retire at the end of the stage. Having some close calls of their own were Pater Herson and Damien Conley, who opened up a 29-second lead after 2 stages. That margin was reduced to 17 seconds after stage 3 when their Fiesta developed a bad misfire. A consistent season in the Skoda Fabia R5 saw Joe McGonigal claim 3rd overall in the Tarmac Championship. The Donegal native was hoping to challenge for the overall win on his home rally and was 2nd after 3 stages, with Kieran Geeney calling the notes. With visibility severely affected by the torrential rain, Kevin Eves was nonetheless driving in his usual style on his home club event. He was 14.9 seconds back in 3rd, with Chris Melly navigating in the Toyota Corolla. Another Donegal driver, Damien Tourish, was a further 9.7 seconds back in 4th, with Donal McElhenney calling the notes in the Escort Mark II. The 2-wheel drive machines were proving to be as competitive as expected on this notoriously challenging event. Showing great pace and steady improvement over the past few seasons, Ryan Loughran was in 5th in his similar machine. The drone driver had local man Brendan McElhenney to guide him across the hills of Donegal. Gavin Kelly and Eamon Gillespie were 6th overall and led the Group N category after a trouble-free drive in the Mitsubishi Evo 9. Second in class was a similar machine of Shane Maguire and Dara Kelly from Monaghan. Kelly was in the running for the Navigator's title in the Sligo Pallets Border Championship. A last win would guarantee the silverware.
Into one right over crest, into one left, and two left over dip, into flat mid on crest, and flat mid on crest again, and one left over crest, continues over bump, into left, into two right over crest, continues.
Damien Toner and Denver Rafferty were 4th in class and 8th overall, but rear diff trouble in the Escort required a back axle change at service. 10 seconds back in 9th were John Bonner and Rory Kennedy.
John, difficult conditions out there?
Yeah, you can say that. They definitely are difficult. They're testing. You know, you have loads of grip and then you have no grip, and it's just trying to balance the two. But we're here after the first third, so try and keep it going now at that pace.
Donegal Motor Club chairman Brian Brogan was tied on time with John Bonner and was hoping for some drier weather for the afternoon runs over the stages. Limerick's Ed O'Callaghan led the 2-litre modified class, but was finding it hard to make inroads on the 2.5-litre machines ahead of him.
2 left, 100 over jump, 100 here over the jump, and you have 60 and a 1 right over crest, 1 right over the crest, 80 down, 2 left up.
So Ed, a little bit of sustenance after 3 stages?
I need more traction on the rod and getting no grip. I thought we were on the right tyres at the start of the rally, but we picked the wrong tyre, but we're putting on a softer tyre there now, but it's hard to beat these boys up here, you know.
In the 1600 rear-wheel drive class, Johnny Jordan and Gary McNairn led the way in their Toyota Starlet. Just 5 seconds adrift and leading the front-wheel drive 1600cc class was fellow local crew Donal Kelly and Mark Gallagher in the Honda Civic. James Cassidy and Sean Brunton led Class 12 in their Pinto engine Mark II.
100, up to a 4 left. Oh, keep it at it. She's all right. 4 left, and stay left over the next crest and jump. Into a 2 right over crest and jump. Into a 1 right to tighten to a 3 right. You see it, you carry it, you see it. 1 right tighten to 3. Here. And 40 jump, 60 chicane. That's the chicane. Good lad, James.
In the historic class, Stephen McFerrin and James McKeefrey held a commanding lead in their Ford Escort. Donegal crew, Ronan Campbell and Paul Corrie were almost a minute behind in 2nd place. Half a minute further back in 3rd was the Talbot Sunbeam of James Harkin and Eamon Sweeney. Malcolm Pedlow just needed to get across the finish line to secure the historic title in the Sligo Pallets Border Championship. His BMW 2002 was just one of many interesting cars on display at the Harvest stages.
Looking around us here, look at these amazing vehicles, but you know, there's a wee favourite right beside us. Tell us about this one.
Oh, that's my baby. The reason I keep her is she's 1275 GT and the registration is the same as the model of her. And I always liked the minis. First time I ever liked the mini was seen Paddy Hopkirk rallying one in very early 70s in the Circuit of Ireland, and I thought when I'm able to buy a car I'll get a mini, and I have a mini since.
Another car that turned back the clock for many rally fans was the Opel Ascona of Donna Kelly and Kevin Flanagan. The former tarmac champions had swapped the Ford Focus WRC to perform course car duties in a replica James Cullen Ascona 400. Much to the delight of fans such as Kieran Burke, who looked after Cullen's cars decades ago. His son Andrew can be seen pictured here with the car at his dad's garage. Andrew has since been truly bitten by the rallying bug and can be seen regularly driving a Citroen DS3 on the tarmac scene.
So Donna, a big change for you today.
Yeah, we were out for a day's fun, you know, and we got the car back about a couple of months ago, and we thought we'd get it back into James Cullen's old colours and relive a few memories, you know. James is here today and Seamus McGettigan and that, so my childhood heroes is great.
It's certainly taken a lot of people down memory lane today.
It is indeed, you know. I think 1988 was when James had it in the Donegal Rally, finished second to Mark Loveland who works Cosworth, you know, and it's just a great car to have, and it's great to have it back on the road and, you know, keep the Irish memories of rallying, you know, keep them alive.
Elsewhere in the service area, Siobhan caught up with some of the crews after a difficult opening loop of stages.
We're working with a misfire at the minute as well, so it's not helping our cause, sort of cars going and not going kind of thing, you know. But yeah, it's not easy out there. Unfortunately, Declan went off on a square left, you know. Easy done, it's just so slippy really, you know.
Joe, you're lying in second after 3 stages.
Yeah, it's been an eventful enough first loop. You know, a lot of bumps caught us out and a lot of water. It's definitely been tricky.
Kevin, you must like the wet conditions, do you?
We're happy out. We got in here and we were kind of on slick rear tyres and we cut them out there, so we should maybe get away a wee bit better this time, but we're happy out now.
Marty, big change for you from the Skoda to the Mark II?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's been a number of years now since the driven Mark II, and this particular one here is the historic specification, so it's very intense in the car now, and it definitely is. It makes driving the Skoda seem a lot easier, so it does. There's a lot of work in these cars, but really enjoying it. It's good fun out there.
So that's how the leaderboard looks a third of the way through the event. Join us after the break for the conclusion to the Shandon Hotel and Spa Harvest Stages Rally.
The Donegal Harvest Rally takes in some of the most breathtaking scenery that this country has to offer. It is the wild Atlantic way, but that scenery is proving pretty treacherous for our drivers. We'll see you after the break.
Welcome back to Dunfanaghy, County Donegal for the concluding part of the Shandon Hotel and Spa Harvest Stages Rally. Rally leader Pater Herson and Damien Connolly had to contend with a bad misfire in their Ford Fiesta WRC on the opening loop. Unable to sort the issue at service, the car was running without the anti-lag in the second loop of 3 stages, but the pair still set 3 fastest times in a row to increase their overall lead to 46 seconds. With conditions still quite treacherous, Joe McGonigal was more concerned with getting his Skoda Fabia to the finish than with catching Pater Herson. In third, Kevin Eaves had closed the gap to McGonigal over stages 4 and 5, but his rally came to an end when he slipped his Corolla off the road on stage 6. Almost doing likewise at this stage 4 section, Ryan Loughran saved well to climb to 3rd overall with 3 stages to go.
Ryan, it's hard to believe that you're 3rd overall with a 2-wheel drive.
Aye, not too bad. Didn't expect that. It's just a pity Kevin went off there in that last one because the battle was getting up. But now the boys is charging hard behind us too, so we can't let up.
Another hard charger in a Mark II was Armagh's Damien Toner, now up to 4th from 8th place before the break. Gavin Kelly had been leading Group N and pushing for 5th overall, but he retired on stage 6, which left the way clear for Shane Maguire to take the class win. He was 5th overall after stage 6. Just 9.9 seconds back in 6th was the escort of Ed O'Callaghan and Raymond Scott.
Go 80, stay mid, and go 80 up to 8, stay left, and 3 right. 3 right there, 3 right. What are you at? 3 right, and chicane right entry.
Damien Tourish and Donald McElhenney slipped to 9th over the repeat loop, and they retired the escort back at the final service stop.
Okay, Peter, after stage 6, leading the field, how does it feel?
Still leading the field, yes. Quite surprised, to be honest. You know, we're driving the car more or less in road mode because the anti-lag's not working, and she's misfiring very badly. So, okay, the wet conditions maybe not just as big a disadvantage, but still, you know, we're quite surprised to be where we are.
Well, Brian, how did you find that?
It's as slippy as ever. It's just getting the same as. I can believe it's getting worse in certain places there, you know. You just don't know until you go over a crest and down a hill, and you're asking the brake to work, and it might work and it might not work.
Kyle, another local man, how's it going for you?
Going good, happy enough. But a bit of an issue this morning on stage 2. The wiper broke off, so with good crack in the rain.
There was a slight improvement in the weather for the final loop of stages, where we turn to the class battles now, and taking 3rd place in the junior class was local crew Gary Byrne and Liam McIntyre in the Honda Civic. Fellow locals Neil Martin Brogan and Dylan Baskin took their Civic to the runner-up spot in the juniors. Nicholas Alcorn and Christopher Moffat had been 2nd in class, but they retired after stage 6. But taking the junior win was Cork crew Mark Murphy and Michael Hamilton in another Honda Civic. In the historic class, James Harkin took third on the podium with Eamon Sweeney navigating in the Talbot Sunbeam. Ronan Campbell and Paul Corrie took second in their Ford Escort. Taking the historic win in their Mark II were Stephen McFerrin and James McKeefrey. Eamon Kelly and Conor Foley took the Class 1 honours in their Honda Civic. UK crew Will Graham and Steve Davey took the Class 2 win in their Ford Fiesta R2. Adrian Cannon and Bernard Gallagher won Class 3 on their home rally. An early puncture put former National Group N champions Aidan Ray and Kieran McGrath on the back foot, but they recovered well to take third in Class 4, putting his Mitsubishi Evo 10 through some typical rough treatment over the bumpy Donegal stages.
One left continues over bad bump. One left continues over bad bumps. 100 over bumps. And 2 right over crest. Push 150.
Trevor Bustard and John McCafferty took second in class and 15th overall on their home rally. But taking the Group N win and 6th overall was Shane Maguire. The result secured the overall Navigators title in the Sligo Pallets Border Rally Championship for co-driver Dara Kelly.
All went according to plan and we put in a good lot of hard work during the week and getting ready and that for the event, so thankfully it paid off.
And a double celebration for you, Dara. Congratulations.
Thanks a million now. Yeah, it's great to be the navigator of the border now. It's great. Over the moon, so I'm only for Shane, and all year. Fantastic. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him.
In Class 5, Manxman Colin Quirk took the victory with Monaghan's Cian Traynor calling the notes in the Ford Fiesta R5. In Class 10, Shane and Kieran Carr took the win in their Vauxhall Nova, but just missed out on the Class 10 border title by 1 point. 6th place was enough to secure the Class 11F border title for father and daughter crew Kieran and Anya Phelan in the Honda Civic. Donald Kelly and Mark Gallagher had led Class 11F on their home rally until they retired their Civic on Stage 5, handing victory to fellow Donegal crew Kevin McLaughlin and Patrick Gallagher, who had been trading times with Kelly and Gallagher for most of the day. Monaghan crew Seamus Connolly and Gary McCrudden sealed the Class 11R title with a 4th place finish in Donegal after some gutsy driving in the Toyota Corolla. Donegal's Johnny Jordan took the Class 11R win and finished an impressive 10th overall in the Toyota Starlet. 3rd place was just enough to clinch the Class 12 border title for William and Philip Armstrong, who finished 1 point ahead of their closest rivals. James Cassidy and Sean Brunton led the class by 1.9 seconds going into the final stage and just lost out by 0.8 of a second, finishing 2nd in class and 18th overall. So a last stage turnaround saw Brian Armstrong and Mo Downey take the Class 12 honours and 17th overall in their Escort. In the hotly contested Class 13 battle, local crew John O'Donnell and Adrian Friel took 5th place and finished 16th overall. Marty McCormick enjoyed a switch from a Skoda Fabia R5 to a Mark II Escort and took 4th in class and 12th overall with navigator Barney Mitchell. Just 0.2 of a second ahead in 11th were Donegal crew William McFadden and Daniel McBride, who took 3rd in Class 13 in the Escort G3. A late push from recently crowned border champion Mickey Conlon saw the Monaghan man finish 9th overall and 2nd in class, but navigator Kieran McPhillips just missed out on the Navigators title. Taking the Class 13 win and 7th overall was Limerick's Ed O'Callaghan and navigator Raymond Scott.
Jump and tap and go 100. 2 jumps, jump and tap. 100. And a 1 left, 150 here. And a 1 right past the farm, 250. 1 right here past the farm, 250.
In In Class 14, Martin Doherty took 5th place and finished 20th overall, with Paul Sheridan calling the notes. Letterkenny brothers Kyle and Dale McGettigan took 4th in Class 14 and 13th overall.
The long three right now, 40, bump into crest, 40, and crest jump sign all the way, go, crest jump sign, watch crest jump sign, 130 over rough, 130 over rough, crest bumps, 80.
John Bonner and Rory Kennedy were 3rd in Class 14 and finished 8th overall. Fellow Donegal crew Brian Brogan and Damien McGettigan took the runner-up spot in Class 14 and finished 5th overall. 20 seconds quicker after 9 stages was Armagh crew Damien Toner and Denver Rafferty, who take the Class 14 trophy and finished 4th overall. Mayo's James McGrail and Chris Mitchell sealed the Class 15 border title with a win in Donegal. Class 20 border champions Declan McCrory and Graham Henderson had looked like taking another class win in Donegal until retiring their Evo 10 after stage 6. Local crew Aaron McLaughlin and Enda McBride took home the Class 20 trophy in their Ford Fiesta. To the overall podium finishers now, and taking 3rd place for top 2-wheel drive crew, Ryan Loughran and Brendan McElhinney in the Mark II Escort. Joe McGonigal and Kieran Geeney took the runner-up spot in the Skoda Fabia R5. But with over a minute to spare in the end, it was the Down Monaghan combination of Patter Herson and Damien Conley who won the Shandon Hotel and Spa Harvest Stages Rally in the Ford Fiesta WRC.
Well, congratulations, lads. Peter, first of all, you led from the start. Is that down to your co-driver?
Well, he has a lot to do with it as normal, yes. I mean, very good co-driver. None of this will happen at all. So, yeah, Damon's a good fella on the notes. Always keeps me on the road. So, yeah, this is as much a win for him as me.
And Damien, what's it like co-piloting for this guy?
You just have to keep up with it. You wouldn't want to have any stutters or anything in your mouth. But no, it's very good. It's Patter's very, very committed to his notes. So you daren't miss one or be late on one.
Going home happy to Warren Point?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not going home yet, mind you, but yeah, whenever we do go home.
So, 2nd place, how are you feeling?
Of course, we're fairly happy. It was a very long day, very challenging conditions, so great to get the finish without a mark on her.
Ryan, 3rd overall and top 2-wheel drive. Great achievement. How are you feeling?
Aye, happy. Great run, great rally. There was great competition all day, just to pity what happened to Kevin and Damien then, but no, over the moon with it, definitely.
And there's confirmation of the final results at the Donegal Harvest Rally, with Patter Herson the winner, Joe McGonigal 2nd, Ryan Loughran 3rd, Damien Toner 4th and Brian Brogan in 5th.
Victory for Peter Herson and Damien Conley here at the Shandon Hotel and Spa Donegal Harvest Rally. Despite tricky conditions, they led from the start. From a much calmer Dunfanaghy, it's bye for now.